Well, hey there, internet friends. I just wanted to pop on for a few minutes and kind of tell you guys, where I've been and what I've been up to, sort of like a life updates vlog, right? I haven't posted any new content in about 4 or 5 weeks, and it's not that I flatter myself that you guys noticed or, missed me or, like I said, even realized that I hadn't made any new videos. But just, like I said, just more about telling you what I've been up to and what's been going on in my life, if you're interested. If you're not, no worries. You can skip to the next video. I'll be making one, be putting one out in another day or so about, I think it's going to be about the outer court experience. So if you are seeking out a Gardnerian coven or some kind of like British traditional, kind of group, oftentimes they will do training via what's called the outer court. And not all covens do, right? That's, we spoke about autonomy in previous videos and how your mileage may vary. But a lot of groups do an outer court training system. So if you end up with a group that does, I think I'd like to make a video about what you can kind of expect that to look like. But for tonight, just wanted to, again, like I said, give you some updates on what's been going on. First and foremost, you can probably see I'm wearing a heart monitor. I'm okay. I mean, probably, right? What's been going on is I've decided to start taking care of my health in a serious and dedicated way and, kind of not half-assed anymore, right? And one of the things that I have been doing, well, I started about 2 months ago on a meal plan. I've downloaded an app. I've been tracking calories and macros or however that's pronounced, basically your protein to fat to carbohydrate ratio, and just trying to lose some weight, make some better decisions. And then what I wanted to do was to start incorporating some exercise, get some cardio, make sure, I'm just developing some healthy habits, partially, just for general principles, because I am a big believer in your health is your wealth, right? If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. But also partially in preparation for my big career change that's coming up. Ideally, I'm going into nursing, and that's a physically demanding job, and I need to make sure that I'm in tip-top shape for that. So, I hit the ground running and I'm like, oh, I'm going to add this and I'm going to add that. And I'm going to do all this exercise. And, well, the problem is I'm exhausted all the time. And part of that, sure, is probably my demanding schedule, right? But part of that is also probably, I have wondered for years if I have sleep apnea. And partly because everyone I've ever shared a bed with in my life has told me I snore like a chainsaw, right? But also because I can sleep for, 7, 8, 9 hours or longer, and still I'm totally exhausted all the time. Just absolutely fucking knackered. Like, on my days off, I have to set an alarm. I have to set several alarms to wake myself up at a decent hour, or I'll wake up at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, it's not okay. I am tired all the time. So I said, you know what, it's gotta be apnea. I'm gonna go get it checked out. And see, what I thought was you just kind of like waltz into your doctor's office and say, hey, give me a CPAP machine. And that's that. And apparently nothing could be further from the truth. So I went to my doctor and he's like, all right, now we have to schedule a sleep study. I did the sleep study. I was able to do it at home, which was awesome. And then they called me back. I had to go back. I had to discuss the results. He said, oh yeah, you've got severe apnea. And my primary care physician wanted to make sure that before the apnea is treated, he wanted to make sure that I hadn't sustained any damage to my heart, because apparently I'm not 100% sure. Like, I know it's all related, but I'm not entirely sure how. But that I haven't damaged the heart structure, which is a pretty terrifying thing to hear, right? Like, oh, you might have damaged the walls of your heart. Like, let's take a look-see. That's like scary and irreversible kind of stuff. So I got some EKGs. I had to get an echocardiogram. Today I went and got this heart monitor. They slapped it on me. There's a third lead, but I can't show you because of like decency and YouTube and porn and stuff, right? Like, but there's a third one under there. and I have to wear this for at least 4 days. I have to take it off at very strategic times of the day so that I can shower and like put the device on the charger and whatnot. So I've been taking care of that, and it's just been really difficult to schedule all of that because I do have, like I said, well, not demanding. I have an insane schedule. I have a crazy schedule, and between work and school, and then trying to schedule, like I said, all of these different doctor visits in between that, you know, and I love my doctor's office, but like, they're like, all right, can you come in Monday? And I'm like, no. And they're like, can you come in Tuesday? I'm like, only between this time and this time. And they're like, well, can you come in? It's been a beast scheduling it all. And then now I have a cardiologist. That's weird. Like, my dad has a cardiologist, but like, he's 70 and has had a heart attack. So that makes sense to me. It's weird that I have a cardiologist now. But anyway, hopefully this will all resolve. I already got the results of my echo back from this morning, and they said that looks good. Even though the EKG might have showed a slight arrhythmia, they don't see any reason to be concerned yet. So they're just going to wait and see what the heart monitor tells them. Okay, cool. Then they will refer me to a sleep specialist, and then maybe I can get a CPAP, and then maybe I can find out what it's like to have a good night's sleep for once in my long queer life. So yeah, I've been dealing with that, and then I've just been pulling a lot of overtime at work. Work has been absolutely just a madhouse. And for those of you who don't know where I work at a very, very well-known coffee chain that originated in the Pacific Northwest about 50 years ago, has a beautiful and deadly mythological creature on their logo. You know, it's just been getting busier and busier and busier, and the labor algorithm is not quite caught up to the needs of the business. And so we're just running constantly. You know, and you've got to stay competitive in today's world, right? So a lot of businesses are constantly adding new channels, right, to their business. So, you know, 20 years ago, you walked into a coffee shop, you paid cash, you walked out with your coffee or latte or whatever. And now there's, you know, mobile ordering ahead on your app, and there's drive-thrus, and there's curbside pickup, and there's just deliveries, Uber Eats, and, you know, Grubhub and DoorDash and all this other stuff. So it's just been exhausting. And then, you know, I manage a rather large team, and in the past 3 weeks, there's just been like 10 separate like tragedies befall my team. Like, you know, if I didn't know better, I'd say like, you know, someone's put a curse on my store, because it's just been like, I had a girl come down with the flu. She missed 2 weeks of work. The flu. We've all been wearing masks and washing our hands and doing everything right, and somehow she got the flu. And she didn't know how, and she felt bad. She's like, I'm so sorry. Don't apologize. Just stay home, get better, make sure you're fully recovered, you know, do what you need to do. But it was rough being without her. And then I did have an employee get COVID. He's out on isolation. I had an employee hospitalized for a completely unrelated matter. I had the equivalent of like a water main break in my store. I've had a bunch of deliveries over the last 2 or 3 weeks just not show up, or not show up in the quantities that I've ordered. And it's just been an absolute madhouse. It's gotten busier and busier and busier because, you know, like the very first day that the mercury is above 60 degrees, it's like everyone comes out of their house, like out of hibernation, you know, and they've all got a stimulus check burning a hole in their pockets, and they want like overpriced cappuccinos. I don't know, man. It's been wild. It has been absolutely wild. So I've just been working 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-hour shifts, you know, doubles, and, you know, closing and opening, and just a lot of stuff. And on top of that, still in school, you know, and thanking every god I can name that I decided to only take one course this semester, but it's anatomy and physiology too, which is really challenging, you know, famously so. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of memorization, and it's a lot of study time, and I'm not behind, but I'm like just treading water in that class. I mean, grades wise, I'm doing fine. I'll end up with either an A- or a B+ probably, if I finish out the semester the way I have been trending so far. And that's fine. You know, like I said, a historically difficult class, so I can't be mad about an A- or a B+. But it's a lot. There are 8 exams in the course of this semester. You know, the class is split up into a laboratory section and a lecture section. So there are 4 exams in each component, and, you know, making 8 in total. I've taken 5 of them already. I've got 3 left. One of them is next week. So, you know, we are a bit on the home stretch. I've just got to kind of stay the course and keep that kind of momentum going through the end of the semester. Not that there's any relief in sight. I have registered for summer class, microbiology, which is another, you know, science course at a 300 level. And because it is a summer class and it is kind of compacted into 7 weeks, it is 12 hours a week, 2 hours on Monday night, 5 hours on Tuesday night, and 5 hours on Thursday night. So I'm not sure what possessed me to make that decision. But, yeah, so I've got that coming up, and, yeah, it's just been a lot. It's just been a lot. I haven't had any time for anything, you know, magic or witchcraft related, or even fun. Like, even social activities have kind of, dried up, right? Not that, like, we're doing tons of social stuff right now, with the pandemic still going on. But more and more of my friends and family are being vaccinated, and we're talking about getting together for things, you know, sort of soon. And I've been getting together and, you know, for small things, masked and socially distanced and whatnot. But, yeah, but even like, you know, sometimes friends, you know, a bunch of, you know, witchy friends or a bunch of people from my tradition will kind of get together on like a Zoom call on the weekends, and a lot of times lately I just haven't been able to make it. You know, there are people that I've been talking to regularly that's just kind of lapsed, you know, and I feel badly about that. And then, on top of all of this, we're talking about getting the Coven back together soon. By the end of this month, my entire Coven will be fully vaccinated, which is really nice. Like, you know, both doses for those of us who, you know, were able to get the 2-dose. And, yeah, so we have fixed a tentative, you know, reconvening date for the end of May. So it'll be like a full 30 days after everyone is fully vaccinated. You know, I know the science says, you know, by 14 days after, like, you're good to go. But we're like, you know, we'll just wait a full month. It'll be good. We'll be extra safe. So we're talking about meeting at the end of May, which is going to be nice. Don't get me wrong, right? Like, we're all looking forward to it. Circle absolutely gives me something that I do not get anywhere else, you know? Some people go to church, and some people go to AA, and some people go to therapy, some people get a massage, and some people meditate, and some people go running. Like, everyone's got that thing that gives them, you know, just that little bit of strength to keep going, right? That solace and that comfort and that, you know, something that you almost can't put into words. But the thing that makes you okay to keep going just a little while longer. And I get that from Circle, I really do. And I miss everyone dearly. I miss them. But I can't pretend I'm looking forward to making the room in my schedule for it. You know, and that's just me being honest. As much as I love Coven life and as much as I love being a high priestess, I cannot pretend I'm looking forward to the time commitment right now, because it is a lot. You know, luckily I do have a partner to shoulder some of that burden. I have a co-priest, and I do have some people kind of up and coming in my group. We had, right before our Coven shut down last March, we elevated one of our young men to 2nd degree. So, you know, I anticipate that he'll be a huge help to us. And when we get back together, we are talking about elevating one of our young ladies to 2nd degree. So that will be nice. So my co-priest will kind of have like a second in command, like an understudy, right? And I will have like an understudy, right, for lack of a better term. So, you know, it is shared labor, but it's still a lot. And, yeah, it's so funny, because a lot of friends and family have said to me these past few weeks, just to let you know, it's not going to be any less crazy when you're working in healthcare. And I know that, I do. But I think it'll be different working, number one, in an environment where I'm not the boss, right? Where I'm not in charge of everything all the time. Where I'm not accountable for everyone all of the time. And number two, no longer being in school while I'm trying to do it all. Will be great. I'm looking forward to that. So that's what's been going on. That's why you maybe haven't seen as much of my charming face as otherwise. I was in a good groove for a while. I was doing like a video a week, and I was like, oh, look at me. Should have known that was never going to last. But, like I said, other things have taken precedence. School and work and health. Health is wealth. And I've got some other appointments coming up. I have to get new glasses at some point soon. I have to go back to the gynecologist at some point. Like I said, just trying to wrap all these things up. So hopefully, fingers crossed, knock wood, all of that good stuff. By the time I start clinicals this fall, my life will be in a really good place where I will be, ready and just able to commit fully to it and able to focus fully on it. This is not something that I'm trying to half-ass. It just isn't. First of all, you can't. You absolutely can't. But I want to do this right, So, even though, like I said, the school is stressful and the work is stressful and there's quite a bit of financial anxiety involved in going back to school, I'm trying to save up right now several months worth of expenses, because I will have to relinquish my position in the fall and, kind of demote myself and take a pay cut. So I want to make sure that I'm fully set up and prepared to do that, so that I can just work part-time while I'm in clinicals. And we'll see, I'm just making my plans and my schemes and my goals and just knocking it out one at a time. So, I miss magic and I miss witchcraft and I miss, flipping cards and reading tarot and doing all sorts, carving up candles and, but they're just, like I said, there's been other stuff going on. But anyway, I miss you all. I miss your comments and your likes and your, one of the things I love to do on this channel is create dialogue. Like I said, I love the comments you leave me. They make me laugh. They make me think. Sometimes they make me look at the screen and go, what? But it's all good. And until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.